So I tested positive Sunday, and I started to feel some symptoms Saturday night. I had a little bit of chills when I was sleeping, but it wasn't anything just that was terrible. And then, so Sunday night, I did have a fever of about 101, but that went away after Sunday night. So here we are Tuesday. I haven't had a fever for a couple of days. I just have mild symptoms that you'd have like for the flu, a little bit of congestion. Yeah. My family has a little bit of that, but nobody, just so everybody knows, nobody is very sick. Everybody is good. We're just kind of hunkering down here. And unfortunately, it did derail our Thanksgiving plans. We're going to go to Ohio to see my parents. So we're staying here now. But the most important part is that everybody is good. Nobody is very sick. I'd have to think for me, I'm just guessing. I'm guessing Sunday night was probably the worst of it. So I think I'm over the worst part of it. I haven't taken a test again. I have some take-home tests here, so I may do that again. And I have to figure out the protocols for both radio and TV about eventually getting back to work. But you do kind of feel like a leper a little bit, right? It's like that Dave Chappelle talked about this on his special where he's like, I felt dirty. And even though you feel like you have a flu or a cold, just because it's COVID, you just kind of feel like I feel like my house is a leper colony.
I know. No, I know. And you know what? It's so weird, Charlie. I thought I had it back in the day. Remember, I was like, man, I had that back in the day. But no, I didn't, because you know when you have it, right? Whether it really hits you or not, there's something off about you. Now, look, you know I partied and I put so much stuff in my system to kill an elephant. But I don't get sick, Charlie. I don't. Like, ask my wife. She's like, you're never sick. And even when I was, like, hardcore, I just never got sick. Well, self-induced withdrawal, that was 10 years ago. I haven't, honestly. And in that one night, I woke up and I'm like, why am I freezing cold? I mean, I had to get up and go and I sleep naked, of course, which is really sexy, especially now when I look like crap. When I get up to go to the bathroom, I'm like, oh my! And my whole body went. I'm like, whoa! I go, what? And I'm like, freeze! I couldn't even have. I basically had, and I sleep, dude. Like I get so warm at night. I'm like sloppy sleeper. I like lay out. I was so damn cold. I go, there's something up. Not that I had a fever. Not that I was depressed. Not that I was like cringeworthy. Like I've been through hell and back. Like I know what bad is. It wasn't anything, but it was just off. And you don't just get up in the middle of the night and take a shower because I was so damn cold. I was freezing. I was like, give me that damn shower. But yeah, so I was like, okay, so, we call each other, whatever the case is. But other than that, through the days, like, I feel okay. Now, I don't get to see my parents this week, and that sucks. I can't do that. I can't go over there. I would love to see them. Kate and I already cooked the turkey last weekend, so I'm already turkeyed out anyway. But she feels all right. But it was one of those things, and I thought I had it back in the day, but you don't until you know, and when you know, whether it's that hardcore or not. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I'll say, so last year I took a COVID test one time, and that's because I was sick. Everybody in our house was sick last summer, but it was mostly the kind of stomach flu type situation, right? So it wasn't really your typical COVID symptoms, but because this was right when COVID was really hot and heavy. So Fox 2 said, hey, you have to take a test. And so I went and took a test, and I kind of knew I was going to be negative, right? It didn't surprise me one bit that I didn't have it. But this past weekend, especially, so Saturday night when I felt those chills, and then Dave Zobrist sends out the email that two other people at 590 had it, and obviously people that I'm around a lot for our time slot. At that point, I knew I had it. And so we got the take-home tests, and for anybody that hasn't done those take-home tests, it says you're supposed to wait 10 minutes to get your result. Mine showed up immediately.
Me too.
It showed up within literal seconds that I had it.
Kate goes, when I told her, I go, Kate, I'm freezing. She goes, oh, God. I'm like, yeah, go to Walgreens. And she just runs there, and I swab that bad boy up my nose, like, plop, and I stuck that thing down, and he goes, 2 dots, or 2 lines, like, yoink, right away. I'm like, okay. I'm like, son of a bitch. It's so bizarre. And not to mention, we don't even do that much stuff. It just happens. And, again, it's rocking a couple teams here and there, but we were fine. Like, we're fine. And we're young and we're healthy, and I get that, and it's all good. But again, like this, it screws our Thanksgiving up. It's more of a pain in the ass now than anything, right, Charlie? Like it's like it affects everybody around you. Now the station's got to do this and this, that, and the other. Hell, like a year ago, if you got COVID, people praise you and are sending you flowers and baskets of like fruit and stuff. Now they don't give a damn. You're just contaminated. We should have got it a year ago. What the hell's wrong with us, Charlie?
Well, yeah, I mean, my thoughts on COVID really haven't changed, even now getting it. The whole time, for myself personally, I never was that worried about getting overly sick or dying. But it is about potentially spreading it to other people. And then also, my thing is it's just a tremendous inconvenience, as you said, where, look, I have a workplace at Fox 2. You have a workplace at 590. I have 2 kids who, at the time, were at different spots for school/daycare at certain times. My wife works. So at that point, it just becomes a tremendous inconvenience for all of those places because all of those places want to keep everybody safe. All of those places have their own protocols, which again, I don't even know. I've been doing all the research and all that, but every business has their own protocol about when to come back and how many negative tests, and you have to sit out for the 14 days or the 10 days. So, I mean, in a way, even though it has ruined my Thanksgiving plans, the fact that you have an extended weekend, I do think that helps. Like, hopefully, I would think I'm perfectly fine in a couple days. Now, I don't know if I test negative throughout, but I would think that a long Thanksgiving weekend, I'm going to be 100%.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like I'm almost 100%. I worked out this morning. Like I feel like taking the dogs for a walk. But for a while there, I was lethargic, man. Not bad, not like flu stuff, or not like, coming off a bunch of oxys, or something where you just know you're going through hell. This is like, I feel weird. I feel weird. I can't explain it. It's a different kind of feel. But, again, it affects everybody differently. It ruins our Thanksgiving. But I'll tell you this, out in the Janssen house right now, Kate's off work for 10 days, and she's putting a lot of Christmas stuff up right now, and it makes me feel that I think I'm getting better because you just see all the cute holiday stuff going on. Yeah, a little nerdy stuff helps, man. It is what it is. Scouts Ringo Ballsack Johnson goes, I had it a year ago and had a horrible case of it. Felt like death for over a week. Get better, my dudes. Yeah, man, it's hitting everybody differently, dude. Like, I don't know. Again, like, I think I probably feel worse than I think I do. And if I did, I wouldn't even do the show. But I'm like, no, I'm doing this, dude. Like, I'll chill here. We got work to do. Now, for you, like, whatever. If you feel bad, like, it is what it is. Like, but I don't know. Maybe again, because I don't get sick, and I just felt, I don't know. It's unique, man. It's different. But we just stay away from everybody. Haven't left my house. It is what it is. Curious, did you and Charlie kiss at all? No, we did. And you got to stop doing that. Okay. That's the one thing we did wrong. Is like we shouldn't have made out that one time, Charlie. People are asking, where do you think you got it from? Like, I have no idea. I don't do anything. So it's like, I don't know. I don't go anywhere. Gas station? I don't know. That's the only damn place you go. Like, where do you get it? Where does anybody get it? I wish it was like a black light where you just know where it's at, right? And Dr. Rick was talking. He's like, dude, it's not what you touch. It's all in the air, and it just dissipates over time, so it's hard to connect. But wouldn't it be cool if you could just, like, put glasses on and be like, oh, there's a thing over there. Get away. Get away from it, Charlie. Get away. But you can't do that, so you just don't know.
Right.
Just don't make out with people. Go ahead.
There you go. And you don't know exactly where it came from, but it's pretty obvious. For example, look at what happened with the Cardinals. Go back a year or so when, they thought it's because you basically get on the team plane and you're all sharing the same air, and that air can't travel anywhere else, which is why we always talk about, look, you're going to see COVID spikes. I think it's going to be a seasonal thing, right? You're going to see more in the winter. The less people are outside where you have open air. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point from the data we have. And then, so this past week when you have, and I don't know exactly who wants to say who has it, but you and I have obviously announced that. But when you have 2 or 3 people in the same studio, and our studio, just so people know, I mean, it's pretty big. We're not sitting that close. I'm probably 8 feet? I'm probably 8 feet away from you.
Yeah. And, you're way away from me.
If you have, we're definitely over 6 feet away. And I'm not saying, you can't get COVID if you're 6 feet away, but the fact that we're in the same studio and we're kind of sharing the same air, there's not a lot of places for that air to go in there.
Rumors are Cam got it from eating a live bat from the Eureka Open Air Meat Market. You son of a biatch! I chopped its head off and played around with it, and then I spit it out. I'm okay, Cucky. Get on with yourself. Who's gonna Who's gonna fit pipes or wrangle cattle while you're on the IR? That's a great question. I was supposed to shoot guns Sunday too, at my buddy's house out here, man. All my buddies are shooting guns. I just want to do that and get comfortable with it, you know. And I'm like, I can't do that. Kate and I are just chilling. Like, honestly, I did a lot of grunt work over the past couple of days, hauling up all her Christmas decorations, Charlie. It's out of control how much crap she's got. It's not crap. Sorry, honey, I love you. You're not working today. You're right upstairs listening. But she's got a lot of Christmas stuff. And I'm like, dang, girl. So I lift it for her, and then, like, she does the rest. And I'm like, yeah, you are, because there's a lot of God. Dang, those are all. We have so many boxes downstairs. I'm like, what the hell's in all this? Although it is marked. But then you open it up, you're like, yeah, it's Christmas stuff. I'm like, all right, well, get on it, girl. Let's go.
So
I'm working over here.
Here's what I find, and I don't know if funny is the right word, but when you have COVID, again, you feel like you have such this scarlet letter. So clearly,
yeah,
I'm not going to be around any people. However, So Monday was our garbage day. So I go out there to take my my recyclable bin in and take my garbage out. And so my neighbor's there, and, you know, he's probably like 30 feet away from me. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, and so I say, hey, how you doing? We have the normal small talk you'd have with your neighbor. And I'm thinking, do I have to tell him? Right? And I will eventually. But it's like, can I walk my dog? Right? I mean, I'm thinking, am I allowed to go around the neighborhood and walk my dog where I won't be around anyone? But then here we are talking on the radio, and when people say, oh, my God, he has COVID, he's walking his dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know the rules.
Know.
Clearly, I don't want to be around any people. Am I allowed to walk my dog where I'm not around people?
I don't know how. Well, like for me, I guess walking in the backyard or whatever. Like my neighbors listen, so they're listening right now. They're probably like boarding their house up as we speak. But no, Kate and I, even like poor Nancy, our Kate's mom and dad, who just do so much for our house anyway. Poor Nancy's like, she's like, it reminds me of a video game where like we're in the safe zone or something, and zombie apocalypse, and somebody has to like get food for us, supplies for us, and drop it off on our front door, and we have to sneak out and get it. That's kind of what we've been going through here. Good God. But again, I said like a year ago, people like are like, oh God, they're worried. Now it's like you're just contaminated. And I'm like, okay, now let's sit and chill. Get that grizzly long cut. I'm joking. I stopped chewing. Thanks for the power through the alternative program. Sucks get well. Oh, I know. Well, yesterday I would have done it yesterday, but it was just too much. Poor Jimmy Here's got to do so many things. When things go like that, you have no idea how hard it is to like tie all the shows together, put the best of stuff like that. Like it's so damn difficult. So we're gonna give a little shout out to. Oh, sorry, my mic's up a little bit. This is a new Comrex, by the way. Am I tweaking out a little bit there? Sorry, dudes. Is that better?
You sound great to me.
Do I sound good? Yeah, I think I'm tweaking out just a little bit. Let me turn this bad boys down. Sorry, this is a new one. Jimmy pimped another work that Jimmy did, and all the guys out there rocking, all those guys that just bust their ass throughout the day. They just fixed all the new Comrexes and stuff like that. So maybe I'm a little too loud. Sorry, guys. Cam, you have 10 listeners, your neighbors, and your bride, and not the ones. Oh, what? That's not very nice, Hockey Bob. That's not very nice. Dear Dr. Cam, can I contract the virus listening to you guys over there? Possibly. Great COVID talk, boys. What a unique and original topic. Okay, I'm done with it. Who cares? We're going to be fine. Let's get into the blues, baby. Okay, go ahead.
We will. But what are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
Flashbacks here. I'm in my basement in my daughter's playroom again. It's giving me flashbacks to last year when I feel like we did the show for about 3 months straight. We just wanted to be transparent. With the listeners, okay?
Translucent.
Look, again, I joke around, but COVID is serious. But so many people get it. We got it. It is what it is. We're not that sick, so I'm very grateful there. I am though. I'm walking around my house like I've had to isolate from my family, kind of. So I feel even worse because my wife has to do even more. But I'm like wearing a mask and all that. And I'm staying away from them because we actually again, I'm not trying to give away all my personal information, but my kids
what's your social
are not
security number
positive.
real quick? All right, go ahead.
Right, but my kids are not positive at the moment, so I'm staying away from them as to not expose them. Even though my son has a little bit of a cough.
Dude, he's going to be a badass anyway. Who's he kidding? He's acting like he's coughing. He's going to be sneaking out, hanging out with a neighbor here soon, who's probably a little bit older than him. He's going to be just fine, dude. All right, what are we doing? All right, sorry guys. Well, again, like I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, we're just I can't do that.
You don't have to apologize.
I'm just, and here's the thing is like I even talked to Kate about it. I go, Kate, what do I do? Like I don't want to. It just sounds like again, it's just different now. So I'm like, but I can't just like go through a 2-hour show and have that in the back of my head and not like I got to be honest, man. Like that's our motto, that's our mantra, and just be honest. Maybe too honest at times, but I think people respect and appreciate our honesty with everything, man. Like honestly, they appreciate our honesty. All right, the Blues, they looked good last night.
And
go ahead.
Can I do my final on this?
Yeah, you can.
But the other thing is that people are curious. Like when I told all my friends, several of them called me because they just want to know how you feel. They want to know how serious is it, because either they could get it, they're potentially worried about their kids and all that, so they do want to know about it. Somebody on the text line asked, "Have you lost your sense of taste and smell?" I did not. I did not lose it at all throughout this.
I did a little bit. I'm not gonna. It felt like when because I've been. Listen, here's another thing. Kate's not eating. She's like, I have no appetite. I'm like, I'm starving all day now. Kate and I have a different thing going on too. Like I get hungry a lot more than she does, right? Like I'm sitting around just getting my mind right all day. I'm going to be hungry, so I'm eating all the damn time. But sometimes when you have a cold, like a really weird cold, right? You can't taste or smell right anyway, just a little bit. But when I'm cooking all this food, like I could still enjoy it, but it's not, the taste isn't that distinct as it usually is, and the smell. But that's usually just like if you went through a cold or not. So, like everything's amplified when you think of COVID, though. Any symptom, you're like, oh, that's just a regular. Look, I'll tell you this right now. If I wouldn't have got the chills, I felt 50 billion times worse. Now everybody's different. I get that. I wouldn't even know that. I wouldn't even have told Kate to get the damn test, because I would have been like, how many bottles of wine do I have, or whatever. Like, am I hungover? Am I this? But whenever I had that weird chill, I'm like, Kate, let's go get that damn thing, and then boom, right away. So, but it's all good, man. I feel good. I worked out today, dude. I feel good. I really do. So hopefully you are on the same schedule as me, Charlie.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully for me, I think Sunday night was probably the worst, and I haven't taken a test since Sunday, but I feel much better. And you hate to say it, but this is the new world we live in. If I didn't know I had COVID, and if it was in a different time, the way I feel today, I could totally work. I would go into work. Now, obviously, with COVID, time. You can't do that anymore because you don't want to infect anyone. But the way I feel right now, I mean, I don't want to compare myself to a hockey player, but maybe this is a good transition into last night's Blues game. But if you remember last year when David Perron missed the playoffs, and so we didn't hear from him, and he finally did his press conference after the fact, and he said, look, the way I felt, it wasn't 100%, but he had played through sickness that was worse than that. And so, but COVID's a different animal, and there's different protocols. We all get that. But the way I actually feel in the past, and maybe this is a good lesson that we shouldn't do that. Like, even if it's the flu or the cold, you shouldn't be, I'm going to go to work, because you don't want to make anybody else around you sick. But I've certainly worked before much sicker than this. Yeah,
but what's okay? How do you draw the line on that then? So, okay, say say somebody has a little cold, and then you're like, I can't go to work, and then will they have to shut the whole thing down, even if it's not COVID? So like it's kind of a slippery slope. Like, and then like you're missing out now. Somebody else has got to do work because you're missing because of a cold, where you probably could have came in and sucked it up. Now, do you want to be around somebody that has a cold? I don't know. Like I don't know. Do you get my drift on that, right? Like if you have if we have a little thing, well, it's like, okay, well, I won't go to work. Well, who's working for you then? And then how much is that going to cost? And now do we have to shut the place down and this, that, and the other? So I think we should know if it's COVID or if it's a cold.
Oh, 100%. But I do think COVID kind of exposed a lot of things more big picture in our society, where there probably is, though, too many people that do go to work sick. And that's a tough balance, because you want to be a trooper. You want to go to the post every day. And like you said, I mean, some people have a job where they can call in sick and it doesn't really affect other people. And I'm not trying to say what I do is that important, but if I don't go to Fox 2 or 590, directly somebody else has to do my job, right? It's not like, no, and I'm not saying my job is that important, but there are other jobs where if you don't show up, it doesn't really affect other people. Whereas there are some jobs where if you don't show up, somebody has to now be called in on their off day. But I think there's definitely a balance of wanting to be tough, but not basically going in there sniffling on people and coughing on people and getting other people.
That ain't tough.
Even if it is
that ain't tough.
The flu or the cold.
You're right. That's not tough.
That's
tough
stupid.
is blocking a shot with your foot and putting your foot in your boot 2 hours before the game just so it settles in and take that shot right in your ankle. And you go out there and you block another shot with it. That's tough. Sneezing on cats, that's just not, man. Like, you see how everything goes. Like, boom, everybody's getting it. Like, boom, you just got to, I don't know, man.